Greetings and blessings, blessings and greetings. Shefa u'bracha, bracha u'shefa, shefa u'bracha u'lahamshacha. Blessings and bounty, bounty and blessings for elicitation. Ba'olam hazeh, in this world, b'darchi noam, in a peaceful way, or darchi shalom, and in a peaceful way. Blessed souls is done Zosu Goodman. And when I was walking on the streets this morning in Kesser Crown Heights on the 25th day of Adar, 5,770 years, blazing and grazing into the creation, those words, Shef Ubracha, came to my mind, that I should chant them in the street. Because what this world definitely needs is more Shef and Bracha for everyone. Because when everyone has, so to speak, enough to sit under their own spiritual, figurative, and literal fig tree, we can all get down to the idea of meditating upon the one Creator in a pleasant and peaceful manner, and come up for real solutions to remove the spiritual pollutions, intellectual pollutions, emotional pollutions that are plaguing the earth and the children of men. With that being said, I would like to comment on the fact that sometimes I get comments from people from this direction and that about what's all the big fuss about the 7 Noahide commandments. And after all, why shouldn't it just be one law for all people? Well, the truth is, blessed souls, is that once upon a time there was. And this is what Moses was commanded at Mount Sinai to relate to the nations of the world. There were original traditions that were intended for all mankind. And when they were violated, there were implications. Hence we see there was a flood as recorded in the book of Genesis, if you believe it. I believe it because I know it. I know it because I learned about it in the Torah Nitzchi, in the Eternal Torah, according to the oral and the written traditions. Yet, it happened to be that coming out of the tents of Shem would be a descendant by the name of Avraham, who paved the path slightly different than his great-great-grandfather Noach. Noach, after going out of the ark, although there are some opinions that he traveled around certain parts of the world to settle his descendants as time went on, because he was only 600 years old when he emerged from the ark, and he lived another 350 years. So he settled the original boundaries of the children of men, his direct descendants, the Bnei Noach, not the children of Israel, not the children of Abraham, not the children of Isaac, not the children of Yaakov, the Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. However, with the onset of Abraham's activism to fight against the idolatry of his times, most notably in Babylon, Bavel, against Nimrod, who knew the Almighty but yet rebelled, and Abraham conquered him spiritually, and eventually one of its sins, actually Nimrod fell at the hands of the grandson of Abraham, Esau, who killed him because there used to be contentious spirit between Esau and Nimrod. With that being said, blessed souls, then we read about the story of Yaakov and his sons. They went down to Egypt and they went out of Egypt, and then there was the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Now, according to the oral tradition of Israel, Moshe was once again commanded at Mount Sinai, and even before at Mount Sinai, at a place called Marah, which you can read about as one of the encampments of Israel after they went out of Egypt, before they received the Torah. And at Marah, as a preparation for the receiving of the entirety of the Torah, which is not just 10 commandments, but 613 commandments, which are delineated with pinpoint accuracy according to the various verses in the Torah by the Rambam in his book of mitzvahs, Moshe and the Israelites were commanded to honor the mother and father, to keep the Shabbat, and also the 7 Noahide commandments. And at that time, blessed souls, Israel, under the leadership of Moshe, were still not what we call Israelites in the spiritual form we see today, or hence from Mount Sinai. They were still under the category of Bnei Noach. So it was a preparation to upgrade their connections to the Most High. They were reminded of what they would be held culpable for if they transgressed idolatry, blaspheming the Almighty's name, killing, stealing, adultery, eating the limb of an animal before it died, and if they failed to promote righteous statutes in the communities they would live in. But as well, Moshe and the Israelites were commanded on Mount Sinai to work with the nations of the world to compel them to understand they are also responsible, along with their innate human rights, to keep those 7 universal commands. And in fact, the Bnei Noach have an option to keep the mitzvahs that Israel can keep, with the exception of few. I won't go into them now, for the sake of receiving reward. So it's an all-encompassing system, the Torah, where you have Israelites and Noahites working hand in hand. Israelites, we are supposed to be the promoters and dispensers of the written and oral traditions, and even more importantly now in this generation, to accent the fulfillment and learning of these Torah mitzvahs through the inner dimensions of Torah. Some call it Kabbalah. Myself, as a follower of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, direct descendant of King David and Solomon, to Torah Hasidut Chabad, which is all printed now. Much of the work, thousands and hundreds of thousands of pages, are printed in English, Russian, Spanish, all different types of languages. It's all available to us, blessed souls. So to assert that there's some sort of hierarchy with undermining, there's some sort of skimming go on to separate us from the Bnei Noach, nothing could further be from the truth, because from anyone, the nations who wants to become a member of the nation of Israel, there is a process of becoming an Israelite. But we are not here to recruit. It must come from within yourself. That means you have to be honest with yourself. Do you really want to keep the 613 commandments or not? Or do you think you can be perfectly well and good and righteous, which I encourage everyone to be, including myself, before anyone, to try to keep the commandments as they are written and elucidated by the sages of Israel throughout generations? One last note, blessed souls, when Noach and his children went into the ark, it is explained in a tremendous work by the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rav Dali Ber of Lubavitch, that the ark is the spiritual quality of Pnimiyut Bina, inner understanding. What's that inner understanding? That Noach and his children, his sons and their wives and his wife, realized they would have to work as one team, one human family. Of course, they were physically related, Noach and his wife and his sons, of course the daughters by marriage. However, they had to work non-stop. It's reported, according to the oral traditions of Torah, that it was not a picnic inside the ark. In fact, at one point, Noach, according to oral traditions, Rashi reports, the primary commentator in the Torah, he was actually bitten by a lion because he was late in bringing his food. Now, he wasn't bringing him stewed antelope or monkey soup or filet deer. He was actually bringing him straw, and he was bitten and actually shed blood from that experience. Because Noach, at his level, should have had just a tiny bit more alacrity in terms of serving the king of the jungle his food. So that's a lesson, blessed souls, that we should serve Hashem with alacrity in whatever we're doing. And I just want to end with one more meditation, aside from encouraging everyone to get involved in praying and meditating on it, requesting of the Most High, of bringing down more bounty and blessing into this world, with this verse from Na'im Zmirot Yisrael, King David, who wrote in the final verse of Psalms, chapter 150, I'll say it in Hebrew and say it in English, and I'll repeat that process. Kol ha-neshama, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let every soul praise the Almighty, praise the Almighty. Kol ha-neshama, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let every soul praise the Almighty, praise the Almighty. Danzus Goodman signing off from Kesek Crown Heights, is 25th of Adar, 5,007 years into creation. Sababa rejoice, Ahav Echad, one love, Gorel Echad, one destiny. Ukulano, for all of us, B'darchim Dachishom, in a peaceful and pleasant manner, B'ofen Nitzchi, in an eternal way. L'hamshich.